I've only been here since '54.
Only, he's a foreigner.
Yeah,
He's from away.
far away.
Since 50.
Probably 25 years or so. I worked in a factory. I was running that old shirt factory.
That's a long time.
Well, did you have that house built, or was that house there already built there, Bob?
No, Tommy Tucker built it for him and his wife, and they broke up after a little while, and that's how come us to get it. We lived around in the blue house when we come here.
Oh, where the stairs are?
Where the stairs live?
Well, why don't you sit there, because then everybody can actually see you.
Yeah.
Then everybody can hear you better.
Yeah.
Good here.
Would that be all right?
We won't embarrass you anything.
I was trying to ask you questions.
It's okay. It's okay if it lies or not.
Did you work on the water? Were you a waterman?
No, for the last probably 25 years or so, I worked in a factory. I was running that old shirt factory up to St. Michael's.
Oh.
You used to work on sewing machines. You used to work on sewing machines.
Yes,
Because you worked on my mother's sewing machine before.
true.
And then when Jeff and I moved down here, I think you worked on my sewing machine one time for me.
Yeah, I came over here to that was my job, to just keep it running up there, and then they kept adding on. I wound up doing it and managing it too.
You got too good at it.
What did they make in the factory?
What were they making? Well, when I came over here, they were making shorts for the underwear for Korea War, you know, army shorts, underclothes. And then, of course, when that ended, they got into regular commercial stuff, sports shorts mostly. And that's where it got down, Yale sportswear.
Well, they make sweatsuits and things like that, don't they?
No.
Sweat clothes? Don't they make sweatsuits and
Sweatshirt. Well, at one time they made a few, but that was in the later years. They were trying just different experimenting, you know. And but the regular, mostly boxer shorts and that type of thing is. But they made tennis shorts and all sorts of things like that.
Was your daughter Carolyn born in Claiborne?
No, she was born a secretary.
Oh, okay.
When did you get your boat? When did you start fishing? When did you start working on the water?
I don't really know what year it was. I don't remember, but I'd say it's probably 25 years. You're around in the 70s somewhere. I don't know. I'm not real sure.
Was it still?
See, it took me about 10 years to retire from the other job. I started retiring.
That's a good thing to do with dying to go to the.
I don't know whether to go to the factory or go to the boat. I'd have to stop and think sometime.
I might try that
Did you
when I'm retired.
do crabbing and oystering, or one or the other? Crabbing and oystering?
Crabbing or tongue and both,
Oh, right.
depending on the season.
Yeah, right.
Did you have your own boat?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. What was it called?
Well, most of them didn't have, I had several of them. I think the only one with a name was called Party Boy.
Now the stories.
Where did you keep the boat?
At Tillman's Creek.
Oh, okay. Were there a lot
At
of
one time I kept it down here for this wharf, but it's not a good place to keep others. So, and besides, I work mostly over the other way anyhow.
Were they still doing oyster buying operation at
Yeah,
at the Sewell's?
yeah, they bought a lot of oysters down there.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'd load a big truck in one day,
Right.
a big truck.
Mary Frances said people used to put rocks in with oysters. You didn't ever do that,
I don't think anybody around here would do that.
Oh, I trust Mr. Todd, he would do that.
It might be harder to find the rocks than the oysters.
That's true.
Trust me, I trust
Yeah, where do you
Mr.
get the
Todd.
rocks?
Well, you couldn't hardly get away with it because when they hoisted them up and dumped them in the conveyor, I think they would show up.
Yeah.
When they would leave here, where would they go to?
Well, most of ours went to Virginia. See, Willie Rowe, he was local, and I guess he had contracts or something with people down in Virginia, and they would send trucks up here, and he would buy, he was the in-between man, you know. He would buy from us and pay us, let the other man have them, and they would.
How did you keep them cold to get from here to Virginia?
Well, the weather was usually cool enough to, and then you don't have to put the water on ice, I mean, that'll last, even in summer, they'll last a few days.
Oh, is that right?
How long do they live?
Barrels of them that they kept all winter. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
How long do oysters live out of the water?
Ages.
Long time?
Pete wants to know how long they live out of the water.
Well, that all depends on the weather and where you keep them. I mean, it could be from 1 or 2 days to 2 or 3 weeks, you know, you just, like I say, the circumstances that you keep them in.
Some, yeah.
They're not like a fish, a fish.
Nope, they're not. That's true.
Little of an oyster won't.
Yeah, did you oyster out, you hand toned
Yeah.
on the Miles River? And who was out there with you, Dallas?
Yes, he's the one taught me how to do it.
Yeah?
I didn't know how, I had never tongued before. I'd worked on white crabs one night, and then him and I started going together, and he showed me out here where the bars were, and showed me how to do it.
Uh-huh.
I think he means oyster bars, not the
I
bars.
knew
Did he always have his cigar in his mouth, Bob? Bob, did he always have his cigar in his mouth?
No.
Continually. If you see him without it, you wondered what was the matter.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't think I ever seen him without it.
And his hat.
And lasted long.
I remember Dallas, and then I never seen him without the cigar.
I didn't know the man. He passed away before I got here. Who was he? Was he a town local?
Well, they live right alongside of us.
Oh, okay.
And his nephews still have the house there.
Yeah, the nephews.
He's only been gone, what, 4 or 5 years? How many?
10 years.
I think 10, yeah.
I think 10.
died the year before,
Yeah.
10 years.
I remember when we first moved here, I used to, every day, a couple times a day, he'd be riding his bike down to the landing and back again. He'd stop and chat for a little bit. I think it's probably 10 years.
He fell one winter and they had to medevac him out, and I think he never came back to Claiborne. He went to,
Yes, he
No,
did.
he came back.
he came back and he went
Short
to
time.
Easton? Yeah,
Yeah.
right to,
He recuperated in a home and then came back.
Didn't,
And he wasn't here very long before he
There's only
went
one
back
way.
again to the
Oh,
home.
that was some kind
He wasn't feeding himself very well.
Let me tell you, I think everybody was out.
I didn't even hear it.